loving who I am becoming. I'm blessed and I'm thriving, I can't complain. I am on a higher frequency. I refuse to let you mess with me. I'm protective of my energy and my time. Don't give it up too easy. I'm loving all myself. I realize how divine I am. My power lies deep within. I know my strength. Loving all myself, I realize how divine I am. My power lies deep within. I know my strength. I'm thankful for the lessons 2020 gave, receiving all the blessings that I manifest. No more living in the past, I'm done with that. Only looking right ahead. I'm attracting everything I need, everything that I want in reach. Not a worry on my mind, everything will work out in divine time. Loving all myself, I realize how divine I am. My power lies deep within. I know my strength. I'm loving all myself. I realize how divine I am. My power lies deep within. I know my strength. Hey, loving all myself, I realize how divine I am. My power lies deep within. I know my strength. I'm loving all myself. I realize how divine I am. My power lies.
Good morning, how my beautiful queens and handsome kings doing this morning? How you all doing? Welcome back to the start of a new video. How you all doing? Happy Saturday to you all. It's Saturday. I'm surprised. I'm surprised I'm actually off on a Saturday because y'all know I usually work the whole weekend up until the weekday. I usually work Friday, Saturday, Sunday, sometimes Monday, and then might be off during a Wednesday or Thursday. But like I say, my schedule is not a set schedule. I remember when I used to work back in the day, I probably would work Monday through Friday and have the weekends off. But with this, this job is totally different. You might have some weekdays off, might have to work the weekend. But it's whatever with me, long as I'm getting my hours, as long as I'm being scheduled some days where I can, be able to maintain. But welcome back. It's actually been a great Saturday up so far, starting out with, I just got through, I really did a deep study this morning. I was reading the Bible, and I also read the little workbook. I just didn't want to have the camera going for a whole 2 hours of footage just y'all seeing me read my Bible. So most of the time when I'm reading my Bible or doing journaling, try to get y'all like little snip clips of it, and then, cut it off. And also because I'm trying to get more, I don't want to have it just rolling and then lose, focus. Because like I say, most of the time when I'm reading, I'm trying to really get an understanding and get real deep into the study. So I also feel like, turn the camera off till I, come back in and chat with you all. But so far, my morning been great. I ended up, I had made some, I don't know, I just somewhat just wanted to put a taste in my mouth. I really didn't even really have like a full appetite because I'm not really a big breakfast either anyway. Like I say, y'all know I mostly work mornings anyway on both jobs. Every now and then I might work some evenings at the part-time job, but I normally just, my coffee usually get me through the day. until it's time to come home. I just had heated up some of them pre-made pancakes, and I just made scrambled me 3 eggs. It was really, really good. I kind of like my eggs when I'm cooking them soft scrambled. I do like them when you just crack them open in the skillet and, you know, let them flip over. I do need to, I think when I do another Family Dollar haul or a grocery haul, I'm gonna try to look for me a spatula where, you know, where when you make hamburgers, a hamburger spatula, or a, that's what you call where I can, you know, when I'm cooking my eggs, I can flip it over. Because like I said, when I moved here, I just moved with the little fruit items I had. And this lady, I just haven't really been stocking up on a lot of stuff I need. You know, I just been trying to do little by little. Because one thing I'm learning now is when you move into your first place, it really takes time to really furnish, especially, you know, furnish it, especially if you haven't had a housewarming. I know some people do that. I didn't have a housewarming, you know. Most people, the average person usually do that in this day, you know, in these times, they'll usually have like a, I ain't gonna say in these times, but, you know, the last few years I have known people do housewarmings where they, you know, people come and, you know, bring gifts, stuff that they need, might probably need for the house. And I didn't really do that. So I just been doing little by little. And like I say, I just got, like I said, I still got to get other stuff, but like items like that, far as utensil wise, like, cause like I say, my plates, some of my plates and my forks and stuff, I had got that from Family Dollar. You know, I thought that wasn't bad. You know, just enough to start me out with. Like I say, they do have a lot of the household stuff that you can use to furnish your house, and it be on a very affordable budget. And that's really just been a big thing for me when I do purchase items that I need for the house or whatever. I try to be mindful of, you know, my spending and how I'm spending my money, you know, because like I say, at the end of the day, you know, you work hard for your money, that's true, but you want to make sure you know, with me personally, I'm gonna say me, I want to make sure I'm being mindful of, you know, how I'm spending, like how much I'm spending, you know, especially when I'm basically living from paycheck to paycheck. Other than that, I had, like I said, I went to Walgreens yesterday. I didn't show y'all when I walked to Walgreens. It really would have been a nice little. It was a pretty day yesterday, real hot. I should have had vlog, but I just, at that time, I was just in the moment, or just trying to watch my surroundings and everything, because I think I was telling y'all in a couple of videos back that I really haven't been, you know, like I be giving y'all these little tours of Memphis, walking downtown. I really haven't really been doing that in a while, because like I said, just been so much going on here in this city. So at that time, I was just trying to watch, you know, just be watchful in my, you know, my surroundings and stuff. But it really would have been nice if I would have filmed, because it was really pretty. I said maybe next time, because I do plan on going back there again. I was looking at when I went to Walgreens, they do have the TheraBreath mouthwash. I did have to go in there anyway for fruit items, but I'm glad I found this cup. I've been telling y'all, I've been needing another coffee cup, you know. I was surprised this cup was $6.99 at Walgreens, because Walgreens at times can be kind of overpriced when it come down to certain items that I feel like you can get from like a dollar store or a Family Dollar, whatever. But that's not bad for $6.99. I thought it was $10, but it was really $6.99. I said it's not too bad for this, you know, the big size cup. But one of my coworkers was telling me that I could have got it from Five Below. I don't know why I wasn't thinking, because I have shopped with Five Below before on the Instacart app. But I probably still look on there and see what they got, because you never can go wrong with having more than one thing. They also have Stanley cups, but when I say them Stanley cups is high, I seen some at Walgreens for like $20. I'm like, nah, we just gonna keep it simple, just get that, because like I say, with this cup, you can fill it up with ice water, you know, and I kind of like the little see-through cups better anyway. It's still whole. It put me in the mind of the cup that I had back here, that I had purchased from Walmart a couple months back, but it broke because I kept dropping it for some reason. I don't know what it was. It must wasn't meant for me to have that cup. But yeah, it's just a little taller than, because the cup that I had bought from Walmart was just exact similar, but it was a little short. It was more like a medium in this size. Same, the color was, yeah, I think the color was more clear, but this blue. But I thought this was cute. I said I'm gonna jump on there because I never can go wrong, especially when I'm leaving work. I be needing like a larger cup anyway. That way when I, leave and get off, I can store with water, because I try to drink more water as well. And I know with that, when I do make an iced coffee or whatever, 1 cup would really get me throughout the day, because that would be considered a Trenta. I think that's how Starbucks say. Because you got the venti. It might be a venti or a Trenta, but it's a pretty big size cup. Other than that, but yeah, when I was in there, I had seen the TheraBreath mouthwash. I didn't know Walgreens carried it. They had the biggest size like this for $19.99. I'm like, wow, that, But I said I'm gonna see though, but I didn't get that particular brand. Cause like I said, I used TheraBreath, or I like Crest. And I was trying to really go back, but I was really on a tight budget yesterday. I was surprised that I had got a couple items for $21. I think I only had got, that's cheap coming out of Walgreens, because there's been some times when I try to put myself on a set budget when I go in there, and I've been overspend, when I'm leaving up out of there. So me spending $21 yesterday was a shock, and that's why I said that cup. I thought that cup was $10, but evidently, I do digital receipt. It was marked down for $6.99. But yeah, the TheraBreath mouthwash is pretty good as well. They had some of the bottles. The size that I normally purchase was like $9.79. When you getting it out, like when you shopping with it online, it's like $10. So I guess that's about right when it come down to that mouthwash. But it is some good mouthwash. But like I say, when I'm on a tight budget, I will use Dollar Tree brand mouthwash, whatever. Mouthwash really been helping me lately with my teeth and my because I don't know, I felt like I had somewhat a cavity, and I do think I need to call Monday and try to see if I can set up appointment for me to see the dentist, since I'm out, or see if they take walk-ins. I'll see if they do walk-ins for dentists. I'm gonna call Monday morning when I get up and just see if they do walk-ins. Because this is a short week for me. This week is kind of a slow week. When I got my schedule, I didn't know I was gonna be off, which I'm not complaining about. I'm glad. I need a little break, a little rest anyway. I basically only work 3 days this week, and then, until the next schedule come out, then go from there. But yeah, working in this industry, business be up and down. You just never know. One minute you might be working 6 days out of the week, another week it might be slow. So it's just kind of up and down, and working in a hospitality industry. And so yeah, everything, like I say, my mornings, I don't know, I embrace. I was really getting into a deep word. I was led to reading. So I'm kind of back and forth in the book. I'm basically kind of studying I'm going through 3 different books in the Bible. I've been kind of going through Ezekiel, Corinthians, of course, Revelation. Revelation is what I'm still finishing off. And so what led me into Corinthians, it really struck me. I just kept seeing it, it was just in my spirit to read it, because y'all know I told y'all that I read the Bible app. I had an app download on my phone. And for 2 mornings straight before I leave the house in the morning, it'd be like 5 something in the morning when I'm waiting on my ride, when I'm sitting here waiting on my ride before, they pull it up. I would read, and I kept saying Corinthians, the first day Corinthians, and then I read that, studied that. So basically with the app, it give you, a scripture from the Bible, and then they give you a meditation, and then they do prayer. And so it really woke me up. I'm like, man, Corinthians. And so the next day, Corinthians again, a different verse. So I was just saying to myself, it's something I'm being led to, something just saying, check Corinthians out. And so when I read it the other day, I'm still getting an understanding of it. And I think when I get through chatting with you all, I'll probably go on my tablet and Google, get some more information, because I took some notes down. I'll be taking notes down on this, on some of my studies. Sometimes I do the SOAP method, but I'm going to just share what, and I know Google only give you so much, But I'm gonna share some of the information that I got off there. With Corinthians, I'm gonna just keep it simple because I was just really trying to get the real meaning of Corinthians. And it said Corinthians is about reconciliation, finding strength and weakness, and true leadership. Strength and weakness, and then it say Paul explains that his physical hardships and thorn in the flesh prove that his strength comes from God and not himself. Paul celebrates that the Corinthian church turned away from false teachers and made peace with him. He urges believers to accept God's forgiveness and live at peace with one another. Forgiveness, restoration, and the truth of Christ was that God's power and comfort are made perfect through human weakness. And when I read that, it was like kind of like an eye opener for me, because it's some of the stuff that when it come down to, finding strength and, trying to hold on when you don't see a way out, and, even with life. Life really been life, and for me a lot lately. It's just been so much going on. So me being directed to Corinthians, there was like it was like a timing right there. And so I think I might go more deep into, I told y'all that I was gonna start a little series on my channel. I'm surprised the first video got 9 views. I don't know really even true. I'm saying true. Even when it comes down to YouTube, I don't know what's going on as far as the algorithm, how the algorithm is working in these times. Because I noticed there are some creators that I follow, and they have probably either 1,000 or 2.08K subscribers. And I noticed even with some of their videos I come across, and it's a lot of them have great content. And some of their videos, I noticed they might be getting the same amount of views as me, 10, 15, 20 views. But I know, and I'm also saying this, I know it's more about the impact versus, the numbers. And I've been have to even feed that to myself and stop worrying about the numbers and worrying about who's not going to like this and who's going to tune out. It's more so about the impact. I've been have to feed that in my spirit lately, because I noticed when I have a goal set for myself, and that's why I'm glad Corinthians was directed to me, because it kind of relates back to me, pursuing my journey on this platform, as well as other, life lessons that I'm trying to accomplish. Is that, even when you don't see a way out, you still have to continue to be strong, so that's the part with the strength. Means strength when times is not really, when you're not seeing the outcome of something, but you still keep pushing through. Like, you just don't give up right away because it's stuff not happening the way you want it to happen. And so even with the YouTube thing, it's like I know this, I don't want to put myself in a box or a little shell when it come down to videos. Like, I try to do some of everything on here. It's like, I'm starting to see certain videos might not, get the traction that I think it should get. But I'm not gonna niche down. I just can't do one thing. Like, I'm trying to continue to grow, as I was mentioning to you all on because I had posted community page. I posted on my community page 2-3 days ago that I'm trying to grow, and I want to see, what's going to work to help me grow. But yeah, there's people who have more subscribers than me, or a huge following, but I notice their views not, it's just like the views not adding up with the, with the amount of people that tune in. So I don't know if it's just a YouTube thing, or maybe people not getting the notifications. I don't know what it is. So I just made up my mind. I just said I'm going to just, push through this and just keep going, because it have been times where I thought about it and I'm like, man, what is, what I'm doing this for? Like, I started to question, but I had to think about it. Like, when I first started this journey, it really wasn't even to worry about how many people that I was trying to reach. It was more so of me documenting my life, some parts of my life, not my whole life, but some parts of my life, so I can go back and look back at how far I have came in my life. And me even watching some of my older videos, I have came a long way. Like I said, when I started my channel, I was 37 years old. Now I'm 41. But really, when you start a journey, it don't matter how old you is, because I have seen creators on here. You have a lot of people. I see a lot of older creators now on YouTube than I did when it was when I first started. Because like I said, I started in 2022, but I had joined the YouTube program in 2018. So if you all have channels that you all know, like it'll show when you first create a YouTube account and join. But sometimes I wish I was vlogging at that time, because even with, and it really, I can't change the past. I could only continue going future, but I kept letting fear get to me. And I feel like even at that time in 2018, like when it came down to like even things like birthday parties and creating, making stuff for my daughter, I feel like it really would have brought an audience in as well too. But like I say, that's the past. I can only just go forward. But yeah, it tell you when you first join, and then when some people might join and upload their first video then and there. But I upload my first video, I think it said August in 2022. I think it was August 25th, my first video I uploaded, and it was a makeup video. And so back then, like I say, it wasn't that many older people that was, like I say, YouTube was kind of different in 2022 than it is now. They wasn't pushing short form videos. You just upload as you go. The thumbnails wasn't just major. Like, it wasn't a big thing about, even though you want your thumbnails to stand out, because that's going to make the person click on your video. But it wasn't a big deal in that time when I first started. I'm kind of glad that the time was a little different than it is now. It wasn't as much peer pressure on trying to, build a community. But now I find it hard sometimes to really, even with certain thumbnails, I try to I'll be like, hey, let me take some pictures for thumbnails. Sometimes if I don't get a chance to take photos, I might do screenshots of a particular take or video, like a little, because when you're creating content, you might do different B-rolls. I'm gonna say like that. So if I don't have time, or if I can't take pictures right away, I might just do different little B-rolls. That'll help too. But yeah, even with this content creation journey, it's just really showing me that I gotta just continue to keep being consistent, keep showing up for myself, even when I don't see the outcome. And I, like I say, reading Corinthians, I know it probably a totally different thing from what I'm speaking on now, but you just really have to continue to stay strong and in the uncertain, I'm gonna say it like that. And that's really what been helping me. But it just seems strange to constantly keep receiving Corinthians back to back in my daily devotion. So I just said I need to read it. And when I read it, it was like kind of like an eye opening for me. So yeah, but I ain't gonna ramble too much, you all. I'm gonna go on there because I was catching up on a couple YouTube videos. These next couple of days, I probably just try to catch up, because everybody been uploading videos. I've been behind. I haven't been able to catch up with everybody's videos. So I'm gonna just probably sit here and finish taking some more notes down on Corinthians, and then catch up on some more videos on YouTube.